All right. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and great glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and salutations to the elect pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth in truth and in sincerity. All right. In this particular video, I want to touch on the U.S.-Iran nuclear talks. All right. I've been following this very closely ever since they began these negotiations. And I've been saying I don't think these nuclear talks are going to go anywhere. All right. Because you have Iran saying that they have the right to create nuclear weapons if they wanted to. And they have the right to enrich uranium. Now you have Israel and America saying they don't want them to enrich uranium at all. Not 1%. And Iran believes that's their right. Now, they don't want Iran to enrich uranium because they already got high levels of enriched uranium. And they said in 2 weeks, they can create a nuclear weapon. And if they create a nuclear weapon, they're going to end up using it on Israel. So you got America jumping out and coming in defense of Israel. Because right now, Iran and Israel are in active war. Last year, they was bombing each other. But that kind of cooled off. So now you have Israel in active war with Iran's proxy groups, Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis. Right? And U.S. is getting involved with it over there too, bombing the Houthis and things like that. So you got America jumping out in defense of Israel. All right? Now, if they get nuclear weapons, they're going to use them because this is a place that chants death to America and death to Israel. They call America Big Satan and Israel Little Satan. So they don't want them to actually get these weapons because they will use them. And they say that they believe Israel is going to disappear off the face of the earth. Right? So now you have these negotiations happening to try to stop Iran from obtaining nuclear weapons. All right? But Iran has a red line within these negotiations. And that's what? That they're going to continue to enrich uranium. And that's not negotiable. They're not going to talk about the stopping of uranium being enriched. But America's saying they don't want them to even be able to enrich 1% of uranium. All right. So these talks are going nowhere. I believe in a last round, the fourth round of talks. That's what the Iranian delegation, for lack of better words, the Iranian delegation said that these talks was going nowhere. All right. So we got prophecy jumping off of the page right now because now it's getting closer to these talks ending. You got United States, Donald Trump coming out and saying that it's going to end horribly for Iran if they don't come to a deal. But they want Iran to not be able to enrich uranium at all. And Iran sticking to their guns. They saying no. Well, these talks is just going to go nowhere. All right, so let's get Jeremiah 50:45 real quick. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Babylon and his purposes, that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Right, who's the least of the flock? Amalek. All right, them small hats over there in the land right now, them imposters. Shall draw them out. Who's the them? America out to what? War. And we're seeing prophecy jumping off of the page right now because they're coming in defense of Israel, right? And they're going to strike Iran's nuclear sites. And we also got Russia saying if they strike those nuclear sites, there will be consequences over there in the Middle East. China coming out and also saying if America moves over there in the Middle East, then they're going to back Iran up. They're going to back Iran. So we got war in the air right now. We're living in some exciting times. All right. Let's get Joel 3 and 9. And I'm bringing this precept out is because, you got Iran 20 years ago wouldn't dared had talked shit to America. Now they're saying that they will hit America back, and the days of tit for tat is over. That if they get struck, they strike him back 10 times. The days of hit and run and tit for tat, that's over with. You got the population of Iran saying that they not scared and they ready to slap America in the mouth and shit like that. You got the weak saying that they strong. Why? Because they getting their military might up, all right? And they're obtaining nuclear weapons. Don't forget, Donald Trump in his last term, he was coming at North Korea, saying that North Korea will get frankly fire. You know, basically saying he gonna bomb them if they try to make nuclear weapons. And they got them now. Now, America don't say nothing to them. You see? And they saying that they can hit America from anywhere. This is what North Korea is saying. You see? So they don't want Iran to get nuclear weapons, you know, because they know they're going to use them. Yeah. But this is Joel 3 and 9 that we read. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Salakia, I'm a little excited. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Right. You have plowshares and pruning hooks. These are instruments to cultivate the land. You know, agricultural tools. Spears and swords are weapons of war. So the money that they would use for the economy and for, you know, the agricultural purposes, they're going to start building their military might. All right, so we see this happening right now. We see Iran and North Korea popping off at the mouth. Like, hey, because, you know, they saying that they're going to bomb Iran, and Iran over there like, yo, bust a move. So you got the weak saying that they strong because they're getting their military might up. So I want to play this and just, we're going to exit it.
Nuclear deal negotiations between Iran and the United States have hit a roadblock, with Iran refusing to suspend uranium enrichment, a key demand from Washington. Now, when asked this question, Iran's Foreign Ministry spokesperson, Ismail...
And let's not forget, even if Iran and America make a deal, if they are still allowed to enrich uranium, Israel said, despite the deal that the U.S. and Iran made, they're going to go over there and strike Iran anyway. And that's going to drag America into the war. Because if Iran and Israel was to go toe-to-toe right now, and nobody was to get involved, Israel will lose bad. And you got a lot of these analysts coming out and saying that. So America would have to come in defense of Israel. So even if they made a deal, whatever like that, Israel gonna strike anyway. 2 days ago, news came out, or headlines came out that Israel is preparing to strike. So,
Al-Bakai claimed the information was a figment of imagination and false. Iran has insisted on its right to enrich uranium for civilian purposes, considering the U.S. demand a red line that violates the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, to which it is a signatory. According to Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, the core issue of enrichment itself was non-negotiable. The U.S. wants Iran to stop enriching uranium, with U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff stating that the U.S. could not authorize even 1% of enrichment by Iran. Now, after the latest round of Omani-mediated talks in Rome last week, U.S. President Donald Trump described the negotiation as very good, while Iran's foreign minister described it as complicated and unlikely to be resolved in 2 or 3 meetings. The Omani Foreign Minister Badr al-Sudaidi hoped the outstanding issues would be clarified in the coming days. According to Iran's foreign ministry, no date has yet been set for the next talks. The talks, which began in April, are the highest level contact between the two countries since the United States quit a landmark 2015 nuclear accord during Trump's first term as a U.S. president. The talks incidentally came ahead of a June meeting of the UN nuclear watchdog, the Vienna-based International Atomic Energy Agency, or IAEA. and during which Iran's nuclear activities will be reviewed. Now, the talks also come before the October expiry of the 2015 nuclear accord. The 2015 accord aimed to allay U.S. and European Union suspicions that Iran was seeking nuclear weapon capability. While Iran denies this admission, as per reports, it is now enriching uranium to 60% below the 90% level needed for a nuclear warhead, but far above the 3.67% cap.
Right, because they could own, like, Iran is saying that their nuclear program is peaceful. So you got America saying, well, if it's peaceful and you just want to have nuclear energy, then you don't have to enrich uranium to 60%, which in 2 weeks you can create a nuclear weapon. So they're saying it only takes like 2.67%, close to 3% for you to have nuclear energy. So why do you need to increase, keep enriching uranium to 60%? Like, what's up with that? So they're like, hey, man, we think y'all trying to make a nuclear weapon, man. And they're like, no, we're not. While in active war with each other and saying that Israel will disappear off the face of the earth. So, hey, keep your eyes on these talks. Well, yeah, that was it. I hope it was edifying. I hope you can take something from this. Just a news update. With that, shalom.